Morning.
Morning, Ron.
You know, when I arrived here in 2011, Steph and I were thrilled for the opportunity. So excited that we wanted to bring home some gear back to San Diego. But the team was coming off a 2-14 season, and you really couldn't find any gear. Interest team had been low. But now, you walk in a grocery store, you can find gear. You walk in a grocery store, you can see people wearing Luke Kuechly's or Christian McCaffrey's or Cam Newton jerseys. And I know I was part of that culture change. But he's hard in the NFL and not to be taken lightly. I'm proud that I took over a 2-14 team and won back-to-back-to-back NFC division titles, South division titles. I want to reemphasize, I'm proud that I took over a 2-14 team and won back-to-back-to-back. See the emphasis? Won. 3 in a row. Okay? Whether you define it by wins or losses, or you define it by winning the division, to me, that's 3 years in a row of consecutive winning. Okay? So I want to make sure we're straight on that. I get tired of hearing, oh, they couldn't win 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row. No, we won 3 years in a row. So let's get that straight. And we were the first team in the NFC South to do it. So I'm pretty doggone proud of that. Okay? I'm proud to have been part of the 2015 NFC Championship team that represented the NFC in Super Bowl 50, and I'm proud to leave here the winningest Panthers head coach. Being a head coach is more than just the X's and O's. It's getting up in front of y'all, okay, and there's my Southern twang I've gained in 9 years. When there's controversy and adversity, and in 9 years I've had my share. I've been the spokesperson each and every time something needed to be addressed. I know I handled those things, those difficult times, with as much grace as I could, and a personal resolve to always do what is right and tell you guys the truth. I want to thank the players. Thank you to those guys for trusting in me. I've been blessed with many future Hall of Famers, as well as many men who took the opportunity in the league as a stepping stone in life. Being a head coach is more than disseminating 3-4 or 4-3 defenses. Being a head coach is about being a leader of men in good times and in bad. So your trust in me as your head coach has never wavered, and I thank you guys for that. Thank you for trusting me with your careers. I hope the advice I've given both on and off the field will have a lasting impact in their lives. To my coaches, thank you for making me a better coach. I always believe in surrounding myself with smarter, harder working people than myself so I can become smarter and harder working. It might not have shown on the field every Sunday, but in my heart we provided the players with the best breakdowns, game plans, and strategies to win in this league. I know this because we won a lot of football games together. So again, thanks to the coaches for their efforts over the years, and I'm extremely grateful. To the people that brought me here to Charlotte, I want to make sure I say thank you. Thank you to Rosalind and Jerry Richardson for giving me the trust in my first opportunity. General Manager Marty Herney for being there, helping me and guiding me along the way. Former team president Danny Morrison and Charlie Dayton for their constant counsel. General Manager Dave Gettleman, who helped put the final pieces together so that the 2013, 2014, and 2015 teams can win 3 consecutive divisions. To the Golden David Tepper for giving me the opportunity to compete. I appreciate those folks. I appreciate them very, very much. On a personal note, to Linda O'Hara, my secretary. She was more than a secretary, she really was. She was like an older sister who spoke freely and gave me her opinion, whether I wanted it or not, but thank you, Linda. Finally, to the people of Charlotte and One Carolina, thank you for allowing myself and Stephanie to get to know you. Many have reached out to let us know you care. We appreciate that. Your Southern hospitality is heartwarming, and we'll always have great and fond memories of our times here with the Panthers. So with that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them. And if not, thank you.
Ron, how surprised were you that Tepper had called you or wanted to talk to you about this?
I was surprised, just because, I mean, if anything, I thought it would happen at the end of the season, to be honest with you. You know, I know you talked about doing some things differently, and I get that. That's part of the business of owning football team. And at the end of the day, you know, when you lose football games, when you have a chance to win them, that's a tough pill to swallow. It really honestly didn't hit me. Stephen Drummond asked me, and I appreciate you, Stephen. I really do. Thank you very much. And Ryan, I know you want me to say anything crazy, so I won't. Not yet, at least. It was good. It really was. It wasn't it was until this morning. Stephen asked me, did you get any sleep? And Stephanie kept trying to tell me to go to sleep and stop moving because I had a lot to think about. I really did. I thought about a lot of those things that happened in 9 seasons. Thought about a lot of the lives that I crossed paths with, the different persons, the different personalities, all the ups, all the downs. So it was interesting. It really was. More this morning than anything else. God, I don't know. There's so many really good moments. There really are. I think probably the thing that hit me the most really is when you see the guys have success. It could be something as simple as a player finally understanding a play. Something that happens. There really were so many of them. But I will remember, and I really appreciate the team gave me a painting or an image of something that they'd put together for me, and it was all about the 2015 team. And I have a picture of the 6 team captains with the NFC Championship trophy. That might be one of my fondest memories. And it was tough. It was because there's a lot of it really is. There's a lot of good young men in that room. There really are. And I just wanted to make sure they knew how much I appreciated them, how much I believe in them. I wanted to make sure I thanked them. I thanked the coaches and the support staff that were in there. And it was cool. It really was. I mean, it's a great group of young men. And, it's funny. One of the things that I always tell the players is that, the best team has a great sense of family. The best family has a great culture. Within that culture, there's tremendous character. And when you think about that last phrase, there is tremendous character. There's a lot of young men in there that have tremendous character. A lot of guys that fight through a lot of things, a lot of guys that have to deal with a lot of stuff, not just on the football field, but off the football field. And I pointed out guys like Greg Olson, who's dealt with his son's heart situation, and through all that has been a champion on the football field. And I mentioned Eric Reed, whose strong belief and never wavering on that speaks to his tremendous character. And I wanted to remind those players that at the end of the day, when you walk out that door, as I will pretty soon, it's all about your character. And I think that's really important. So I wanted to make sure I talked about that with them. Coach again?
Coaching?
Absolutely.
Or you
Absolutely.
want to take some time away? You want to coach right away?
I got 4 weeks off, okay, until the start of the new season. Well, actually a little bit longer, until February. But my intent is to coach again. I love coaching, and not just coaching because it's about winning football games, but coaching because you have an opportunity to impact young men and people, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to coach people and impact people and win football games and hopefully win a Super Bowl. Somebody want to ask me my biggest regret? My biggest regret is not winning the Super Bowl. I know I stood up in front when I first got the job and told people I was going to win a Super Bowl, and that's my biggest regret as the head coach of this football team, is that we didn't win it. We got there, and we had our chance. We had our opportunity. I think at the end of the day, Mr. Tepper wanted to do what he wants to do. He wants to do it his way. He wants to hire his own head coach. That's what football is about. I mean, it is. It's his prerogative. I respect that. He was very upfront, very cordial, and we talked about it. And I'll say this too. Before everybody started talking about the analytics of 4th down, I was doing 4th down. One of the things that I really did appreciate was my opportunity to get to know John Madden. Mr. Richardson put me in contact with John Madden, and John Madden mentored me at a time when I needed it. And one of the things that John Madden taught me was to use analytics, okay? To use the analytics of the fact that I'd been in the league at that point 24 years. Okay, use your experience, draw from your experience. And that's what I did. And that's how I coached. I coached from my experiences, from my practical application of having done it and been part of it. The numbers are there just to help you. At the end of the day, you still got to make the decision. There are certain things that the numbers can't quantify. Okay, they can't quantify injuries, can't quantify the weather. They can't give you a number on whether or not the referee is going to make a good call or a bad call. And they can't talk about momentum. All those numbers there are just to tell you one thing or the other. And at the end of the day, if you make a decision and you lose, you're the one who answers for it, not the numbers. So the truth of the matter is, figures lie and liars figure. You can find a stat to use it for whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's about the men on the field. It's about the guys that are calling the plays. It's about the execution of things that happen on the field. That's what I look at as far as football is concerned. I do want to make sure everybody knows that I appreciated, first of all, Jordan, your article. And I thought you ended in a very appropriate way, because I know you guys heard me say this a lot. And then I said my greatest missed opportunity is we didn't win the Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, I just want to make sure you guys all know this too. Thank you.